Hey guys, hope you guys are doing well and welcome back to Phasmophobia. So in today's video, I'm actually going to be starting a new series. This is the No Evidence series. Pretty much no evidence and no sanity, of course. So my plan is to go through these maps and show you guys exactly how you can figure out these ghosts. I'll be explaining like all the mechanics, I'll be explaining all behaviors that I'm seeing and stuff. But here's my custom difficulty that I like to use. So first off, obviously, zero evidence, which means you will not get anything unless you get mimic orbs, for example. I like to do 1 second grace period, although you probably should do 2 seconds to be safe. Honestly, I probably should do 2 seconds too, because I've died whenever the ghost starts hunting on top of me, so I don't know, I'll do 1 second for now. And then I like to do 0% sanity, because you can walk in, do a hunting test, and if you can figure it out right away, then you can basically leave and get a bunch of free money like right away. And then of course, if you don't want to get hunted, you could just take the sanity pills and then do like other secondary tests just to figure out certain ghosts. And one of the main things is I don't have any cursed possession, because if I were to add one right now, it'd actually take it down just a little bit. Not by much, but I do like to have like a little bit of higher score. So I think this is probably the perfect difficulty for this. Alright, and the way I think I'll be doing this, I think I'll be doing 2 runs on each map, basically. Now obviously today I'll only be doing on Tanglewood, so I'm doing 2 runs on Tanglewood. So the first one, I think I'm going to be doing it the more fun way, which is going in, get a hunt right away, just so we can see if we can figure out the ghost right away. And the second way, I'm going to be taking all the sanity pills, and we can basically just like slowly go through each different ghost, and I can explain all the behaviors and mechanics. But anyways, let's get started, shall we? Alright, so we're starting on the fun way, which is basically like trying to figure out the ghost during a hunt. So what I like to do, I like to grab a flashlight, and then 2 smudge sticks right away. Now you can be extra safe and bring in a crucifix, salt, and a candle right after you drop these items right here. So I can just open the door, just drop all these guys. Oh, I also heard a door. I heard a door somewhere in there. So maybe placing a crucifix right there might actually be helpful. That might actually stop the ghost from hunting. Alright, so I'm bringing crucifix, this, and some salt. Okay, then we could basically like test like right away if it's gonna be like a wraith. Which wraiths, if you don't know, they cannot step through salt. That's like, you can always like look it up in these books as well. Like wraith obviously never touch the ground. It can't be tracked by footprints, and they will actively avoid it. So obviously you can learn some behaviors, but there's multiple behaviors that you will not know from the book. So it's always good to like watch videos and stuff. But anyways, I'm gonna put the crucifix in here, put the candle for on Rio is what I'm trying to do, and I'm placing some salt here. And then let's just do this. Oh yeah, also I start off with the breaker on as well. Because some of my favorite things to do, I like to just run straight to the kitchen, just so I can like do like looping tests. Now I'm actually, oh wait, I heard it. It's walking through the salt, right? Yeah. So it walked through the salt. You can see it stepped in. So obviously, it's not gonna be a wraith. That's pretty easy. Oh, also it turned off the breaker, so it's not gonna be a djinn. The djinn's okay. So the djinn has an ability. Hello. Also doing ghost events and whatnot. So the djinn actually has an ability that requires the breaker to be on. It'll travel at a faster speed when it's like very far away from you and it's like seeing you. But if the breaker's off, it actually cannot use that ability. So the main thing about this ghost is that it actually cannot turn the breaker off. It physically cannot turn the breaker off unless it turns on too many lights, for example. But besides that, it cannot turn off a breaker, so we know for sure it's not a djinn. I am gonna light this candle back right up. I'll just sit right here, just waiting for the ghost. I would like the breaker to be on, but this is okay too. It's throwing some stuff, alright. I have noticed it's not really blowing this out very much. Wait, did it turn on a light? Wait, hold up. I need to check to see if it turned on the light. Because if it turned on a light, I can say for certainty it's not gonna be a mare. Oh, it also hunted? Wait, hold up. The candle is still on. Okay, that is huge. Alright. So we're going through a couple things. Alright, so it hunted. Well, the candle is still on, which means it cannot be an Onryo. Because for the Onryo, the candle is actually like basically like another crucifix for the Onryo. So it has to blow out the candle first, and then it will be able to hunt. So obviously the candle's still on. And I believe the candle is about the same range as the tier 2 crucifix. Now obviously with the tier 3 crucifix, you might have to bring in more candles, because if you place it in the middle just like this, the ghost, if it was an Onryo, it technically could walk right outside the candle range, but still hunt in the crucifix range. So that would kind of confuse you a little bit. So I like to bring a couple more candles from that. Now let me actually just stand here. I think it might have turned on this light, so I don't know. But mares hate light, so they like to shut off all the lights. Sometimes they do. They more commonly do like the ghost events, like break the lights, for example. And they'll also never turn on a light. Oh. Oh, okay, it actually sounds a little bit faster than normal speed. It sounds weird too. Hold up. Oh, okay. You see that cold breath right there? Right there, right there. That's the cold breath from the Hantu. Now the Hantu actually has a cool ability for whenever the breaker's off, you can actually see that cold breath. But whenever it's on, you actually cannot even see that. So that's actually a really cool, unique ability that, like, this is the only ghost that can actually do that. Besides the mimic, of course, when it's mimicking the Hantu. But I know for certain this is just a Hantu. Now let's see. It did hunt from like pretty much right here. It's like just right outside the crucifix range. So I know for certain it wouldn't be a demon. Although I know what the ghost is already. It's either a Hantu or maybe a mimic. So you know what? I'm actually gonna go in here. I'm gonna take some pills so I'm not gonna be hunted. Alright, so of course I'm 0% sanity. Just gonna take some pills. So this should put me at 60% sanity within 10 seconds. Okay, I think this gives me sanity within 10 seconds per pill, of course. So it'd be real quick. And then I'm just gonna bring in a camera just to check for mimic. Because for the mimic, it's the only ghost that could actually have orbs. Which is not even its evidence. The mimic's evidence is actually spirit box, freezing, and UV. But orbs is actually an ability. Although the book says it's a weakness. Several reports have noted ghost orb sightings near mimics. Although I would say that's actually a strength for the mimic, because sometimes, especially if you're doing like professional or nightmare mode, it is kind of hard to get multiple evidences. Because if you're a professional, you would actually be getting like technically 4 evidences, which you would know for certain that's a mimic. Or if you get 3 evidences on nightmare mode, 100% a mimic. Alright, it hunted from here, no orbs. I'm not seeing any orbs anywhere, so that means it's probably not going to be mimic. So, I guess we can go. So I've checked that it's not going to be a mimic. Also, I should probably take all this off. I'm pretty sure it's just a Hantu. Because you could hear like the differences in sound too. It was fast at some point, and then it got to like the living room and it was kind of slower. And it was like fluctuating in terms of speed, which the Hantu quite does. Yeah, I just realized I never even explained what the Hantu does. I kind of just did right there, but let me explain. Alright, so first off, there's actually a temperature mechanic in the game, whereas if the breaker's on, it'll actually warm up all the rooms, and they each have like their own different temperatures. But if the breaker's off, the temperature will go down, which the Hantu likes cold temperatures. You can see right here, it thrives in the coldest climates. Lower temperatures allow the Hantu to move at faster speeds. So the Hantu actually has a little ability to turn off the breaker much more often compared to other ghosts. And they will never turn the breaker on because that would go against their ability. They want the breaker off, so they will never turn it on. It's just physically impossible for them to do that. And then of course, Hantus move slower in warmer areas. So right there, the breaker was off for a little bit, which means it was like starting to get a little colder and a little colder. So the Hantu wasn't quite as slow as it could be, but it also wasn't as fast as it could be too. Alright, so that should be a Hantu. That was pretty fun. And of course, you could go for a perfect game too if you wanted. Like, take all the pills, like put some salt in, and take a bunch of photos, and boom, got a perfect game. But even so, that wasn't a perfect game. 2 objectives and stuff. Look how much money. 3,000 bucks. You see that? 3,000 bucks and 3,000 experience. Now this is definitely really good. I will say you definitely want to have at least like one of every item. Like, you shouldn't really care about the sound sensor or tripod, but at least like everything above that it's really helpful. Like all the secondary evidence. Alright, so that was the fun way to play. Now let's go to the little bit boring way to play. But this will like help you like way more because you get to like experience like exactly what kind of behaviors these ghosts do. Or like what kind of behaviors these ghosts give. Alright, so I'm just gonna take probably I'll take all the pills. Oh, you know what? I'm actually gonna take just 3 pills. This should put me at 60% sanity, so then if a ghost hunts right away, I can then say for certain it's only going to be a handful of ghosts that can early hunt. Because only a handful of ghosts that can early hunt up above 50% sanity. Most ghosts will hunt below 50% sanity. Alright, so I'm perfectly at 60%. So I'm just going to grab a thermometer and a thermometer and a smudge stick, just to be safe. Because you can never be too safe, honestly. Like, always bring crucifixes in and stuff. So what I want to do now is just find the ghost. So I just gotta walk around, listen for any weird stuff that might happen. Alright. Now hopefully you guys enjoy this series. I really want to like like help newer players, especially like just learn how to like deal with certain behaviors with the ghosts, because some ghosts are fast, some ghosts are slow. Like some ghosts are also like different speeds, like that Hantu was in that one hunt. It was like speeding up and speeding down. There's some crazy abilities out there too, so it's awesome. Let's see, 19 degrees in here. Oh, I think it just touched the door. Look at that. All right, so it's probably in the kitchen, or maybe 21 degrees there. So of course you're looking for the one that's like lowest temperature in room, and like that keeps going down. So this is like 17 here, so this is probably the ghost room. Yeah, 17.6. Let's see. Yeah, 19.6 here. So this should be the ghost room. It's also touching more doors. All right, I'm actually gonna open the doors all the way, because there's one ghost that could actually close it all, like close it like from open to close right away. That's the Yurei. So the Yurei is basically almost impossible ghost to tell. The only way you can actually tell a Yurei from like an ability or anything is by its ability. So its ability, let's see. They've been known to have a stronger effect on people's sanity, which means nothing. And this also doesn't really do much. I mean, obviously if you smudge it, it'll like stay in its room for a little bit, but that doesn't really help much at all. But the Yurei will actually double touch a door, and then it'll basically close it. And then after a couple seconds, it'll make its closing sound. And that's basically how you know it's a Yurei, because most ghosts actually cannot do that. And also one other thing, the Yurei actually can interact with the front door, which is kind of crazy. That's the only ghost that can actually do that. Although every ghost can do that too. If it's like a ghost vent right here, it'll just like close all doors that's in that room immediately. But Yurei is actually the only one that can actually touch it. I don't know if it gives off EMF yet. I haven't really tested that. Alright, sanity is actually perfect. What the heck? So I've just been staying in the light, and you can see how much that's affected me. Not hardly at all. Alright, so now let's grab... I guess we can grab a camera. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna grab a crucifix, candle, and some salt. Okay, you never know. Maybe it's actually a wraith. So I like to grab the candle because I said in the last round, this is like a crucifix. Oh, I also don't even have a lighter. Whoops, let me grab one real quick. Alright, lighter acquired. Very nice. Oh, it's also snowing. What the heck? I didn't even realize. Alright. Yeah, but about the Onryo, I said that the candle is kind of like a crucifix. But for the Onryo, okay, there's like two ways you could actually like hunt. Like at any sanity basically. Is after, if it blows the candle out 3 times, the 4th candle blow, it'll then be able to hunt like right away. So then that's how you can also kind of tell if it's gonna be a Onryo or not. Oh, hello. We got a friend. Oh, it just blew it out from all the way over there. What the heck? Yeah, but the other way is actually, I think it actually says in the book. That's the Onryo. It steals soul from dying victims' bodies to seek revenge. Oh, okay, it's walking us out. But yeah, I think what that means is like if it hasn't blown out any candles, if it kills like a player, like say for example you got a 4-player team, if it kills 1 player, it only has to blow out 2 candles. Or if it kills like 3 players, then after every candle it'll then like hunt right away. Alright, 8 degrees here, so this should be the room still. Alright, but yeah, it walked in the salt, so it's not gonna be a wraith. Let's see, anything else? It hasn't shut the breaker off. Now this is also interesting, the shade actually cannot blow out the candle when you're in the same room as the ghost. Although this is such a small room, so the ghost, it could easily just walk out to another room and then blow it out from there. Because their interactivity range is like so big. It's like basically like as big as this room probably, or bigger, honestly. So you definitely need to watch out for that. But this is definitely the ghost room. Now I'm actually gonna turn the light off to test for mare. Oh, it just blew it out. And that's like right when I left the room too. So it might actually be a shade. Okay, it's walking in here. Yeah, that's kind of weird. It blew it out right when I left. Now shades are actually super quiet ghosts. They're extremely shy. So you can basically go after activity too. Like some shades will like touch an item like every couple minutes. Like they are very inactive. And then when you leave the house, then they actually start being like active ghosts. But you see, it's not blowing at this candle at all. Now it did from over there because it did a ghost vent, which teleported that ghost to that location. And then I think when it was starting to walk back, it then blew out the candle because it was still outside the room. So I have my suspicions that this is a shade. And one other thing too is that shades actually cannot hunt until you pass 35% sanity. So even if my sanity dips below 50% and it just never hunts, then we can probably say for certain it's just a shade. Like, watch this. If I leave the room, it's probably gonna blow out the candle pretty soon. Unless it's walking elsewhere. I'm hearing nothing. Yeah, there we go. It just blew it out. Alright. And I can also say for certain, probably not on Rio, because on Rios, although they don't like the fire and they try to blow it out, they actually blow it out more often. Like, they blow out candles more often compared to other ghosts. Like, even your lighter, it'll blow out the lighter, then immediately blow out the candle. Like, it just does it like all in like one action. They do them pretty fast. But yeah, it is extremely quiet. So I'm probably gonna say it's a shade. Now I guess I will stay in the dark a little bit, just so I can try to lose some sanity. I would like to get a hunt just to like make sure it's not gonna be like a super fast ghost or something. Hello. All right, now it's blowing out. But then when I'm in the room, it's just not gonna blow it out unless it walks outside the room. Honestly, actually, I could probably. Oh, never drop your lighter. I could probably actually grab some motion sensor and test that out with that too. Yeah, I do believe this is probably gonna be shade. So what else can the shade not do? So obviously it cannot blow out the candle when you're in the same room, but it also cannot give you writing book when you're in the same room as well. You can get EMF 5, it can give evidence just fine, but not writing for some reason. It just will not write in the book, as well as it will not hunt in the same room as you as well. So that is always good info to know. Alright, what was I gonna do? I was gonna grab some motion sensors. I guess I'll grab some more, another smudge stick, why not? But yeah, obviously you could easily get a perfect game and get like $4,000, like easy. It's once you figure out the ghost, you can just take your sanity pills and then boom, just get a bunch of salt, get a bunch of photos, very easily. Now today I'm just going to be just recording this and probably editing it right after and releasing it because I wanted to get this video out so much. I'd really like this to be like a series. It'd be very cool. Okay, it's standing right there. You see that? It was like standing right here. You can see the laser got stopped. So that tells me it probably walked over there. Or like, okay, I think it came back. Wait, actually I have tier 2. What am I doing? Okay, now I can see if it's gonna be walking in there. Wait. Oh, it's broken. Oops. Sorry. So now I can see what direction it does. I'm not sure if it's in here. It is very quiet though. It's definitely shade. Like, it has not blown this candle out at all. The only way the candle could go out is if it runs out of fuel. Like, obviously it's like halfway, I think. I think these candles actually last for like 5 minutes. But either it'll run out or the ghost has to blow it out. Now you just shut the breaker off. I don't like that. Although I probably should stay in the dark. Also, another pro tip, when you're in the dark, the ghost is more active. So if you don't want it to be like super active, try to keep the light on. Although sometimes, whenever the light's on, I feel like that provokes the ghost to do more ghost events. I feel like it wants to like shut it off and do like an airball or something. That is also one other thing about the shade. The shade actually does more airballs compared to other ghosts. And as well, the airball actually rules out the Oni. So if you ever get like an airball, like you see the ball of air and it does that ha sound, that's not an Oni. Although, you gotta be careful. It's not about the sound that means it's not an Oni. It's just it's that airball right there, because Onis actually can still do the sound as like a normal ghost event. So you gotta look out for that, because that's been like very like commonly like mistaken by a lot of people. It's not the sound, it's about the actual airball, like the ball of mist like traveling across the screen to you to scream at you. But anyways, I think this is just a shade. It is not doing anything. You hear that? So that's probably like one of the easier ghosts to like rule out. Pretty much, especially when you have like a lot of sanity. But this should conclude today's episode of Tanglewood. It should be a shade. I did not check for a mimic. I probably should have checked. I had a camera right there, but I think it's just a shade because it's just been quiet the whole round. And there we go, easy. 2,300 bucks, easy. And that's only like 10 minutes. You could probably do like a 10-minute run of like professional or nightmare mode. But look at that, that's a lot of money. Now, why would you want to do this difficulty? Well, I would say it definitely helps like train like your senses of like what kind of like behaviors we're sensing, or like if the ghost is fast, or if it's slow, or if it's just normal speed, but it sounds like it's throwing a lot of items like the poltergeist does. Like there's a lot of behaviors and a lot of complexity to this game, and that's why I love it. And also, like a 9 times difficulty, that's like way better. I'm actually gonna save real quick. Yeah, that's way better even compared to like insanity mode, which insanity mode is basically just no evidence but with like 1 evidence, and sometimes getting the evidence can be hard as well, so it honestly is better just to do no evidence. Yeah, 3 times professional. Even like a perfect game of professional is like $1,400, which is not much. Nightmare mode, I think even like $1,600, like really not a whole lot. But yeah, that's why I recommend doing no evidence. It's always a good challenge. Now obviously you could like turn off the loose items and consumables, just like practice with it a little bit, or you could also do detectives only, the challenge mode. This is actually a no evidence challenge mode that you can do in Edgefield. You can like practice. I think it's all tier 1 items though, although for newer players it probably is very good to practice with that. But anyways, that concludes the first episode of my no evidence series. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys learned a lot about this. I know I didn't go through all the ghosts that I really wanted to, but next time we'll probably find other ghosts, and some maybe even more complicated. Like the Goryo. The Goryo is probably one of the most impossible ghosts to get. You basically have to rule out every ghost before getting to the Goryo. And I think probably next episode I'll probably do on Willow Street House. I think that'll be a perfect next map to do. So then again, I'll probably do like another fast run and another like slower run where I go through all the different ghosts and see what it could be. Anyways, if you want to see more Phasmophobia from me, you can click up here. You can see my live stream, to which I actually got my new badges. I got the Sunny Meadows badge from doing 50 runs on that, and I also got the Ranger badge from doing 50 runs on either of the campsite maps right here. Sunny Meadows Survival and Ranger Challenge. I got my Lighthouse Keeper badge probably a couple months ago, or a month ago. Now I just got to get this badge, which is just the Banshee, getting killed by Banshee in a multiplayer. That's the last achievement I need. I like this one the best probably. Although I like the hand with this like pairing. It's actually pretty good. I like it. But anyways, I do live stream on both YouTube and Twitch, so feel free to follow me on Twitch if you want, or subscribe to my YouTube. I'll definitely appreciate it, or like, or comment down below what you learned, or if you found out different ghosts or different abilities that you may have learned too. And of course I got Discord, but anyways, happy ghost hunting. Bye bye.